6. Welcome students. And good morning everyone. So welcome to our social science e-learning class. And today in this class, in our geography class, we are going to discuss a new chapter, okay? And the name of the chapter is maps. Okay, how many students present? Antarjita, good morning. Others, okay, Anubhav, Ashmita, Ayush, Deeptak, Paimobroto, Irish, Moinak, okay. So good morning everyone. So you know previous class I am asking some question answers to you. Now today we are going to discuss a new chapter. This is map. So first you have to know what is map. What is the definition of map? Okay. What is the definition of map? That a map is a representation or a drawing of the earth surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. So map is a representation or drawing on earth surface or a part of it on a flat surface according to a scale. This is called map. Now how can we use the map? So when we want to study a part of the earth as about our country, our state, district, towns, villages and some other features such as the population density, rainfall of yearly rainfall, all these things, and the natural vegetation means the plants and animals, then we can use map. Okay, so in this situation we use map. Now we are going to discuss the what is the difference. Okay, students are requested to off your camera and mute your microphone. Okay. Now listen, that what are the difference between map and globe? That in globe we cannot find out the places. Okay, those places are very much easy to find out in a map. So what is the difference between a map and a globe? So a map can be useful when we want to study a particular part of the earth, even our city or village. But in a globe can be useful when we study the whole earth, such as the motions of the earth, the rotation, revolution or the latitude and longitude of the earth, then the globe is very much useful. And the globe is round in shape, so if we want to observe some places of earth such as Antarctica, then it is very much difficult because it is situated in the bottom of the globe, okay, where the X is situated. So it is cannot be visible clearly, but in map we can see that everything clearly in the world map. Antarctica also, in the map of Antarctica we can okay, we can observe it clearly. Yes, Irish. Now listen, the uses of map. Now we are going to discuss the uses of map. What are the uses of map? Number 1, the map teaches us about the world by showing sizes and shapes of the countries. So they teach us about the world, by showing sizes and shapes of countries. Okay, so this is the number 1 use. Number 2 use, it is we can identify any location with the help of map. identify any location with the help of map. Okay, such as in Google Earth or in Google Map, you know that we can find out any place with the search engine, with the search, Google search, okay, Google Map. So this is also useful, and also in physical map also drawn over a paper, on a paper we can find out any location with the help of map. This is the second use. Number 3, map gives us various information such as height and also the depth of the ocean. And maps gives us various information such as about the depth and elevation of landforms. Okay, so this is also another feature. It is not the question, not the reading. Okay, I am just mentioning the important points. Okay, so part by part I am mentioning, Antarjita, the important points. You can write this in your copy if you wish. Okay, it is also present in your book, the uses of map. You can also you can write it in this one on your copy. Okay, so number 4, we can assess the distance between two places. Also, we can assess the distance between two places on the surface of the earth using the map. Understood up to this, students? Response here. Deeptok, any problem you can tell me? Okay, no problem. So, next one I am discussing, which is the types of map. The types of map. I am rubbing this. Deeptok 3, it is gives us information about the depth of the elevation of the forms. Okay, no problem. Now, can I rub this board? Can I rub this board, students? Okay. Now, the types of map. How many types of maps are there? So, according to their features, we can divide the maps into 3 types. Number 1, the physical map. What is physical map? That physical map showing the natural features of Earth, such as the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, the plateaus, the plains, etc. Okay, all the natural features are Rudronil, it is the spelling is wrong. They will not Fuskal. It is physical. Okay, physical map. And physical map also called the relief map. Remember this, relief map. Okay, so the physical map also called relief map. You have seen the different maps where the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, the plateaus and plains are drawn with different colors, okay, such as if you search the Google with Google Earth, okay, with the natural features, then you can found all the physical features there, okay. A satellite image, with the satellite image then you can see the physical map. So it is the physical map showing all the natural features, mountains, rivers, etc. It is also called relief map. Number 2, what is number 2? Number 2, it is the political map. It is very common to you. You have seen these things in laboratory, in your in your book, otherwise in some places such as the front of any diary or front or back cover of any diary, you can see this type of map. This is called political map. And what is the main features of political map? That is this map showing cities, towns, villages and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries. So they shown clearly the boundaries of the political entities such as the towns, villages, cities, countries, states, districts, etc. This is called political map. And number 3, it is called the thematic map. Okay, number 3, it is thematic map. What is thematic map? So in thematic map, focus on specific information such as the road, the railways, the forest region, the rainfall, the population density of a country, the industries, okay. So all these things were mentioned clearly in thematic map. So what happened? So if we draw a picture, so if I give you an example, students, this is a representational map. I am not drawing the actual map here. Okay. So this is not actual map. I am just trying to draw for understanding. Okay. So in this map, you can see the map of India. So in India, if we see the population density or any other thing such as natural vegetation. Natural vegetation means the trees. So this is desert region mentioned in this way. The coniferous trees in mentioned in this way, okay, and the dwarf region is mentioned. It is mentioned in this way with green. We left it blank, and some deciduous forest in Deccan Plateau region, okay, and mangrove in Sundarban region and Krishna Godavari region with dark shade. So this is a thematic map, okay. So in this way, and when we mention it in the box, such as this is the desert vegetation. Desert vegetation, okay. So in this way, we can mention here these are the deciduous forest. Okay. So this is a thematic map. So in this way, with the using of thematic map, we can focus on specific information of a country. Hope you have understood about the thematic map. Now we are going to discuss the 3 important features of the map. So students, can I rub this one? Attendance taken? Students, it's 11:50. Don't mind it. I am taking 5 minutes more, okay? Because I am already. We have some time. We have taken some time to start this to start the machine. So another 5 minutes we are discussing the another unit. This is the distance. Okay. So first we have to know that the three components of map. What are the three components of map? So map also, each and every map has three components. Number one, the distance. Number two, it is the direction. And number three, it is symbol. These three things are very important in each and every map. Okay. So now I am going to discuss about the distance. So remember the three components of a map: direction, symbol and distance. Now I am going to discuss about the distance. What is distance in a map? That maps are drawn which drawings which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper, or we can say maps are drawn to reduce scales, but this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the places looks real and appears real. It can only be possible when a small distance on paper represents a large distance on the ground. Okay. And therefore a scale is chosen for this purpose. So a scale is chosen for this purpose. So what is scale? You have to know first. What is scale? That scale is a ratio. Scale is a ratio between the distance, between the actual distance on ground and the distance shown on the map. This is called the scale. Okay. And how scale works? So with an example I can tell you that how scales work. Suppose this is two places, this is your house and this is your school. Okay. So this is the two places and distance is 10 kilometer. And if map, it's represented, the map is 2 centimeter map, we can represent it in this way, that 2 centimeter map means 1 kilometer equals to 10, then 2 centimeter map. Okay. So then 5 kilometer equal to 1 centimeter equal to 10 by 2, 5 kimi. So 1 centimeter in this map equals to 5 kimi. So 2 centimeter is 10 kimi. So in this way we can compare the distance on the map and also in ground with the use of scale. This is called scale, and scale is, that's why, very much important. If the scale of your drawing will be 1 centimeter to 5 kilometer, the scale is very important in any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on the map, and you can reach the place as without any problem. You can assess the distance. Okay. When the internet was not there, today we can use the Google Earth, but when Google Earth or this type of maps were not present, when people assessed their distance on the map by calculating physically, we just place the scale on the map and draw a line with a pencil and measure the line and calculate the actual distance, okay, using the scale. Okay. So you are using scale in everyday's life also. In your geometry box, in scale is there. When large areas like continents or countries are to be shown on a paper, then we use small scale, okay, such as 5 kilometer on 5 centimeter on the paper is actually shown 500 kilometer on ground. 5 centimeter on paper, distance on 5 centimeter in a paper shown 500 kilometer of the ground. It is called small scale map. And when small area like your village or town to be shown on paper, then we use large scale, that is 5 centimeter means 500 meter. It is actually the big map. So that's why this type of scale is called large scale map, because large scale used in this map, and 5 centimeter on the map represent 500 meter on the ground. Okay. So large scale maps gives more information than small scale map. Okay. So that's why when you detect some place in your town or village, we use the large scale map. What happened here? Moinak, what happened? This class is going on now. Delete all this from the chat box. Be serious in the class. Okay. So if you have any query regarding this, you can ask me. Okay. So I think you have understood the distance on the map and distance on the actual ground. Okay. So next day we are going to discuss the another subunit, another portion, which is direction and symbol. Okay. So till then, goodbye.